What is happening, YouTube people? So, gonna train an overhead press push workout now at Dave's. Went out last night to Rosie's, so I am a bit hungover. I don't usually train when I'm hungover. I think the last time I did it was like a year and a half ago, and I haven't done it since simply because I had an awful workout. But today I'm gonna give it another go, and I'm gonna give you guys my opinion on it after I've done it. To be honest, I feel alright. Don't feel too bad. I think the biggest thing with going out is making sure you eat right the next day. Cause it's always hard, isn't it? But like, if you do go like Mackey's or something like the next day, like it never really tastes that good, and it's not really worth it. So I had like my typical breakfast this morning, which was like salmon and eggs. Tasted great. And I'm just gonna try and stick to the diet, even though I am feeling the effects of last night. So get ready for this little review of drinking and training. And I'm interested myself because I haven't done it in so long. The video you're now watching is of a overhead press push workout. Really long overdue. Haven't done one of these on the channel yet. So the aim for this workout was sort of a higher rep, sort of hypertrophy based workout. Started off doing sets of 10 on overhead press. Did 50 kilos, did 3 sets of 10, and then dropped the weight down to 45 for another set of 10. Simply because I got I basically hit failure on the third set on 50 kilos. So it was the best idea to drop down and get another set in. So, trained with my mate from the gym called Sai this workout. Me and Sai are on overhead press, a fairly similar strength, but every other aspect of lifting he will batter me in. So, as you can see, guy looks wicked, lats on fire. So I'm going to now talk about how I set up my overhead press push workouts. So what I will do is I'll start with the overhead press, and then I'll move on to the incline dumbbell, which we're about to see now. So on the incline dumbbell, I decided to go for 10 reps again, and this was actually a 5th set, and it was unintended. I realised I hadn't recorded any sets yet, but I thought, oh, you know what, gotta sort the channel viewers out. So I did one more set, recorded it, and I'd previously done like a really slow negative on the 60-pound dumbbells, so I couldn't really go for them again. So I just dropped to the 55s, did a set of 10, and as you'll see now, in a second, I do a really slow negative on the way down again. And I'm doing this to reach metabolic fatigue, as it is something that shouldn't be present in your training all the time, because you'll like end up burning yourself out and not making progress. However, in certain times in your training cycle, you should include it, and that way you just maximize gains. So the next exercise is a dip, and watching this back, I don't think my form's too great on these dips. I need to sort of like look out for how I can improve. I think what I need to do is like lean forward slightly more, and just sort of just have more control over them. So Sai wanted to do 2 isolation movements. So we decided on dumbbell incline flies and then cable flies. So if you're going to pick 2 flies, which is not something I'd usually recommend, I'd go for something like a dumbbell one where you've got to use a fair bit more stabilization, and then you'll obviously hit different muscle fibers. And then the next one, use something where you use less stabilization, i.e. a cable fly. So these felt great, to be honest, guys. I haven't done these in the longest. I might consider putting them back into my workout, but rep range for this was about 12. I always go slightly higher on reps on the isolation movement. This is due to isolation movements having the tendency, you'll have more of a tendency to injure yourself if you don't, if you go low reps. Like imagine trying to do sets of fucking 4 on cable flies. It's just something that's not very feasible. So as you can see from this video, I looked lean today. Whether that had to do with the drinking or not, I'm not sure, but very happy with my physique in this clip. Gonna keep dieting a bit longer. Sort of had a diet break this week, just because I felt I've not really got anything to go for. So I'd rather reset my mind, get back into that So, not get into that dieting brain where you just feel like shit all the time. So if I had a quick diet break, I could get back on it without sort of any force. So as you can see, size chest, absolutely a lot bigger than mine. But don't worry, I'll be getting there sooner or later. Maybe in a few years. Who knows? Yeah, so later on in the clips, you're going to hear me talking about my verdicts on training when hungover. And to be honest, I'm not sure whether I expected this or not. But yeah, you'll have to stay tuned for that one. So the next exercise I moved on to was the cable fly. Now this cable fly, not cable fly, sorry, a cable lateral raise. I've learned this movement off Goku Flex, which is a great channel on YouTube for anyone who's doesn't really watch that many other YouTubers. I'd recommend going to try and watch him if you're into, say, the fitness aspect of my videos. So the rep range for this, I think, was 12 to 15. And then I did a little drop set at the end because, again, drop sets, you shouldn't really include them all the time in your workouts. However, if you include them in certain blocks of your training, you're going to make maximal progress, I believe, simply as it's like taking it that little bit beyond failure. But if you do it all the time, you're going to burn yourself out and you're going to not progress as much on your lifts. And the main thing that's going to help you grow is progressive overload, which if you train too often to failure, you'll not be able to achieve. So let's say lead the tricep workout, and we did this exercise here, which is like a rope separation. I typically do this second, just because I feel like it's a lot more like sort of isolating, and I do my like overhead movement first. But we did it this way around because why not? And the final exercise, which I don't do all too much, is this overhead rope extension. So what I'd like to do on this is do a slight pause at the bottom. That way you just get like a really nice stretch in your tricep, which is something I'd probably advise when doing overhead movements. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. That's the whole workout. That's my typical overhead push workout, with the exception of the tricep movements. Sometimes being different, sometimes being moved around, and then obviously not. I don't typically do 2 flying motions. So I hope you guys have learned something, and I will see you guys in the next clip. Finished the session, and the verdict of on training hungover, it's not that bad. You know, like, you forget you're hungover, so would recommend, unless it's going to be a rest day, then don't. But I will do it again, and this just means I'll be going out a lot more. Probably won't, maybe, who knows. Gonna head over to Subway now because I'm a lazy bastard and I've still got the hangover and I don't want to cook. So guys, just been Subway and I've ate half of it. And I'm gonna save the other half for when I get home. But I just started thinking, like, what really annoys me with a lot of people who are into like the gym and fitness is I feel like they try and make things hard for themselves, and I honestly truly don't understand it. Like, there's no reason you can't go and get like a piss in Subway. Like, if you look up the macros on MyFitnessPal, it's not bad for you. It's an alright meal. Like, I think this will be like 80 grams of carbs, 40 grams of protein, and like 5 grams of fat, and it's a foot long. So like, in what world is that like essentially bad? And then I think people have this like preconceived notion that let's turn that down, that just because something is, say, like fast food, it's going to be bad for you and it's going to like fuck you up and like make you fat. But it's just not true, guys. Like, you really need to take the more scientific approach and understand that at the end of the day, it really all does come down to calories in, calories out in terms of weight loss. And then obviously you can break that down into macronutrients, and that to ensure like you are having sort of optimal performance and optimal sort of recovery. Like, and understand that just because something tastes good, it doesn't mean it's bad for you. Like, all my meals are enjoyable. Yeah, that's basically it, guys. Have a bit of fun with your food rather than eating plain shit, because what the fuck is the point at the end of the day?
The next morning.
What's happening, guys? So I've just arrived in Manchester with Ghoulie right now. He's got to get off soon though because he's got work later on. Gonna meet up with Ben and James in a second. We're gonna do a bit of shopping and go out for something nice to eat. Thinking I might just start like going to some naughty places to eat and just sort of reviewing them on the channel, and then hopefully one day I'll make it and I'll get paid for it.
One day, George. One day.
Me and James are in Starbucks. Got myself a latte with sugar-free vanilla, and just gonna drink these, and then I think we're gonna head over and go get some food soon. I think we're going to, is it Ben Brazil?
Ben Brazil, yeah.
Ben Brazil, which is like Brazilian. It's like one of the ones where you like flip the card over. Green if you want more meat, red if you want to stop. But obviously I'll take you guys with me there. And then later on I'm going to do a bit more shopping. Want to get some trousers. I'm going to Chester races next weekend. And I need to wear like, obviously smart stuff. Going to put together a nice little outfit, which obviously I'll show you on the day. Got ideas planned in my head. Anyway, I'm going to drink this, enjoy this, and then I'll catch up with you guys when I'm at the next location. Chicken yakitori, skewered.
Yep. I've got like a single fried ham on a mac and mac and one. Got pretty strong bit. But
So, just finished eating at Teppanyaki Chinatown. I had the salmon teriyaki, you had salmon teriyaki, he had duck teriyaki, and we all had teriyaki skewered chicken for starters. Boys, out of 10?
7. 7.
It's got to be a 6, boys. Because if you go to Nudu and get the salmon teriyaki from there, $6.95, and it's the best I've ever had. But I've only had 2, but it's good and it's better than that. So, go Nudu. Nudu, sponsor me.